Good morning, good morning, good morning, kings and queens, gentlemen and ladies. This is Refined Rose back with another video. Y'all, after our abuser is arrested, we need to start working on our impact statement as soon as we collect ourselves and start to get back to some type of normalcy, because that impact statement is going to be very important for the judge and jurors to hear how much you suffered at the hand of your abuser. I'm going to detail mine out such as this. From the very beginning, I was love bombed. And that was just to get in my life, for my abuser to get in my life to abuse me financially because he saw my assets. He based my worth on my assets. And I believe if I hadn't had those assets, he wouldn't have even looked my way. And so once he got into my life, there came the credit card fraud. There came the loss of my house. It's going to be foreclosed on because I had to leave and go into hiding because he wouldn't stop the abuse that he was doing through his flying monkeys. So after the financial abuse, there came the verbal abuse, the name calling me bitches, calling me whores, dumb, stupid, ignorant. So I'm going to list that in my impact statement. Then after the verbal abuse, there came the psychological abuse, where I lost my support system. I wasn't allowed to talk to family and friends, and the reason I say I wasn't allowed, I could have, but the verbal abuse would have been worse, and I was already getting verbally abused enough, and I just couldn't tolerate it anymore mentally, so I stopped talking to family and friends. So after the verbal abuse, the emotional abuse, making me feel bad about myself, telling me that I was too sensitive and things aren't happening as I know that they were happening, which was gaslighting with the emotional abuse, and psychological abuse, moving me away from family and friends and not allowing me to talk to them. Once he got me completely isolated, my spirit was already pretty much broken. But once he got me pretty much isolated, that's when the physical abuse started, because there was nobody around to see the abuse that loved me. Of course, his co-signers was around, like his son, and I'm gonna name that too, and how his son was used as a flying monkey, along with his brother, to file frivolous, vexatious lawsuits. And I'm gonna have that information to prove it was frivolous and vexatious. And that lawsuit in those lawsuits they filed to use the judicial system as for the further harassment. And so after the emotional, psychological, and verbal abuse, the last thing was physical abuse. And that just broke my spirit. It broke me down to the core. I lost the will to live. I stopped eating pretty much. My hair started falling out. I started to be thin and frail. My clothes became too big. I just lost the will to live, and I contemplated more than once on unaliving myself with pills that I take for my health, pain pills that I have for my health, because I just lost the will to live. I just didn't want to wake up another day and be abused, verbally abused or physical abused. I was walking on eggshells. We're only married for 12 months, and the whole freaking 12 months, I was walking on eggshells. So I'm going to explain that in my impact statement, and that's going to be very important so you can paint a picture, a true picture of what you went through from the time you met your abuser until the time that they are arrested. And you want to explain too how much better you are with that abuser out your life. Have you gained your weight back? Like me, my hair grew back. You want to just detail how much better your life is without that abuser, and how that abuser tore your life down being in your life. That's all I have for now. Refined Rose out. Bye for now.